We are discussing software engineering. This is chapter number 3, software process structure. How to identify a task set or a task. So when we were discussing about software process, we knew that in software process there are various activities, number of activities, and in these activities we have to perform certain actions, and these actions will consist of certain task set. That is the work, the actual work where the actual deliverable will be there. Okay, so this you can backtrack. That is, task set will be done, so action will be done, action will be done, so activities will be completed, all activities will be completed, so the software process will complete. So each software engineering action, I am talking about in this ladder, third one, this one. So each software engineering action, let me just highlight it. This action, for this we need certain task set. So this can be represented by number of distinct or different task set. And what are these? These are nothing but collection of software engineering based work task. Why we are saying this? Because this is related to different output, different points, different project activities. So we are talking about work set, that is, it will be related to your work product, all the quality assurance points, because whenever we are doing certain tasks, we have to ensure the quality, and also we have to do it timely. That is, we are talking about project milestones here. So work task is the final entity which collectively is done for all these. So a task set is the actual work done. Please remember, the actual work done. So this is the definition of task set. So a task set will define the actual work, because you have to complete certain action. For example, you need a labor to make a building. So the labor is going to put the different bricks. So this is the actual task set. So to complete certain action, you need to have certain tasks set. So this is how we define the actual work. Okay, like we'll have all the list of the tasks to be accomplished, and for every task what will be the work product. If we have certain tasks set, what will be the time, what will be the milestone. Let me just take you back to the software process. As you remember, that software process, that is a process framework, will be there, umbrella activities will be there, and in this we have framework activities, different framework activities. All these activities have multiple actions, and under this action we will have task set. So we are talking about task set here. Let me take an example. For example, elicitation. Now elicitation is an action. Elicitation, you can call it as requirement gathering also. So this is a software engineering action which comes under what? This comes under communication activity. We know how many activities are there. Normally we talk about 5 activities. Communication till the deployment. So in this activity we have action, and then we have called elicitation. Okay. So why we want, basically it's all about communication activity. We have the action called elicitation because we want to talk to the stakeholder. We want to know the information so that we are going to make the software. Okay. So all the stakeholders or the people who are involved, they are providing you money, they are interested. So if we take a small or a simple project, what will be the task set for the requirement gathering? That is, requirement gathering is an action. For that we need certain task set in order to fulfill this elicitation. So what will be the different task set? First thing will be, you have to make a list of the stakeholders for the project. You have to make a list who all are involved, who all we need to talk, who are going to give us the information, because we are gaining the information, requirement gathering. then you will invite all these stakeholders in this list for an informal meeting. It is not a formal meeting. It's just an informal meeting, like you talk to your friends. Then you will talk to each stakeholders in the list to make a complete list of what are the features, what are the requirements, what are the functions it is required, or what they require from the software you are making, from the app or the website you are making. Somebody will say, I want this on the left hand side. Somebody will say, oh, this function is missing, I want this one. Okay. So these are list out you have to do. Then now you have to discuss these requirements which you have agreed upon. And finally, you have to build a final list. So whatever you have, this requirement gathering you have done, you have to build a final list. Then you have to prioritize, because some requirement may be, having higher priority. Some may have least priority. See, somebody will say, I want this about box. Somebody says feedback will be there in my website. So what exactly is the priority? This you have to list out, because you already talked to an informal meeting already has happened. And then now you are building a list and you have to prioritize also. Okay. Now you have to understand what are the areas of uncertainty, because now you are aware, you have got the requirement with you. You have to find out there should not be ambiguity in your understanding. But if you go to a larger or a complex software project, we just talked about a simple small project. But when we are talking about a complex software project, what are the different tasks? Because in communication activity, there will be elicitation action. And in order to fulfill this elicitation action, we need certain tasks. Same thing for the larger or complex project. For that, what you have to do? First, you have to make a list of stakeholders. All the stakeholders. There will be many stakeholders. Not as the small project. There will be multiple stakeholders. Now, you have to take one by one, interview each of the stakeholder. You have to do it separately. You need to understand what they need, what they want. Okay, now when you have interviewed them separately, you have to make a preliminary list, or you can say a draft list of all the function and features they require. Then you will schedule a series of facilitated application specific meetings. That is, now you have to have a meeting very specific for the specification being required. Then you have to conduct these meetings. See, first you interviewed them one by one. Then you created, and now you have a specification application meeting, conduct meeting. And then you have to create user scenarios, proper user scenarios, because the meeting has happened. Then these user scenarios you have to make. Now these user scenarios you have to refine, because you have to take because whatever you have, the user scenario you have made, you have to take the feedback from the stakeholders. And then you have to build a revised list of stakeholder requirement. You have to refine it. Okay. Now, what are the quality aspect you are going to put here? You have to use the quality function deployment techniques, because you have to prioritize the requirement, and then you have to also talk about the quality. Quality is important for a big and complex project. So now you have to package these requirements so that you can adjust them to deliver incrementally. This time you will give this one, this time you will this one, and you have to note the constraints and the restrictions, because you have to know what are the restrictions I have. This far I cannot go. This is what you have to place in the system. And then you have to discuss different methods, because you have to validate the system. Verification and validation has to be done. So this is the whole, the task set for large product. We talked about small. So both of these task set, as we talked about small and the larger one, they require different depth and also the formality. You saw how in a different way we are approaching if the project is small or big. Now you are a software team. You will choose your task set, because this is not hard and fast. This is quite flexible. So because you have to maintain the quality and the timeliness, so what goal of each action should be there? This you are going to decide because you are the part of the smart software team, right? So you can change certain things depending upon the situation and the scenario. What are process patterns? So whenever we are talking about process, software process means from the beginning to the end, what you are going to, what will be your approach, what will be your way. Pattern is something which is already being made. So when we talk about process pattern, we are talking about a process related problem because you are solving a problem actually, that is encountered during a software engineering work, identifies the environment in which the problem has been encountered, and suggest one or more proven solution to the problem. That is, do we have a proven solution for certain things which we are already doing, which has already been done? So something is already existing, AE, I'm writing for that. So process pattern will give you a template. I'll also show you a template right now. So this gives you a template that is a proper method, consistent method. You can describe the problem solution with reference to, with context to your software process. That is, if you have certain things, if you can write certain thing and you can relate it to already existing, these patterns can be defined at different level of abstraction. So this pattern is basically to define or describe a problem and what are the solution you can adopt by taking which model. This problem can be solved best by which complete process model. This is pattern. See, various scenarios, patterns, as I said, can describe a problem, can describe a solution along with certain framework activity. We have communication till deployment. So planning is some framework activity. And this also is associated with the action within this framework activity. For example, in planning, you are talking about project estimating. Project estimation is the part of planning. So here also we can adopt the patterns. So before I discuss each of the part of this pattern, let me show you an example. How does a pattern will be made? So this is a simple pattern. I'm going to discuss it in detail. But here, let me tell you, we have to write a pattern name, intent, type, initial context, what is the problem, what solution you're going to get, the resulting context, then the related patterns. What are the related patterns with the pattern you have chosen or you have written? And then known uses and examples. All these in the blue text I'm going to discuss one by one. Okay, I hope you got an idea how do we write a pattern. So Ambler has proposed this template which you just saw. How to describe a process pattern. So this is one of the book I showed. He wrote so many books. So a template, that is, this is the way you have to write. So the first thing I showed you was the pattern name. So whenever you are making a pattern or trying to make a pattern, you have to give a meaningful name like the technical reviews. Whatever software process you are dealing with, you have to write a proper name for that pattern. The forces is the environment, the place, the scenario where this pattern will be encountered, and that will make this pattern visible, and where it is going to affect the solution. Then you have to write the type. The pattern can be of 3 types. Ambler suggested 3 types. It can be a stage pattern, it can be a tasks pattern, or it can be a phase pattern. So stage pattern is actually defining a problem which is associated with a framework activity. Hope you remember the framework activity. You started with communication, then till deployment. So this defines, stage pattern is defining a problem which is associated with the framework activity. So this stage pattern incorporates multiple task patterns. I'll give an example. For example, we have establishing communication, right? Now this will encompass the task pattern. What is that? requirement gathering. What about task pattern? This is defining a problem which is associated with certain action or work, that is software engineering action or work. For example, a requirement gathering is a task pattern. We just talked about the stage pattern now. The requirement gathering is actually a task pattern. How about the phase pattern? Here we are defining the sequence of framework activity. In a process, how the sequence will work for the framework activity. When you are talking about the iterative nature, that is even when the overall activity will be of iterative nature. Then we'll have the initial context. Here we are describing the conditions where we are going to apply this pattern. We need to ask certain question for the initial context. What organizational or team related activities that has already been occurred? Means your organization, some other team might already have worked on this. Okay, this question, if it is answered, then this will be the initial context. How do you enter? What is the entry state for the process? And what software engineering information, solution or project information is already with you? Let me give an example. For example, planning pattern we are talking about. It's a stage pattern, right? What does it require? We are talking about planning. Planning is one of the framework activity, okay? So we are talking about a stage pattern here. So here, customer and software engineers, they are communicating. They have a collaborative communication. The successful completion of these task pattern for the communication pattern has occurred. This already has taken place or not. And the project scope, the business requirement and the project constraints are already known to you. This is the planning pattern. This requires, when we are talking about a stage pattern, we require all this. Then what is the problem? Because you are trying to solve certain thing by the pattern. So the specific problem which this pattern is going to solve. And what are the solution? How are you actually going to implement this, execute this pattern, right? So this is describing how the software engineering information or project information that is available before even you start or this pattern, and then how does it will transform the final result. And what is the result? Resulting context. This describes the condition that will result once the pattern has been successfully implemented. You apply the pattern, what will come out? So what will be the question asked here for the resulting context? Let me give you an example. What organizational or team related activities must have occurred? Entry talked about the entry state. What is the exit state now for the process? And what software engineering information or project information have already been developed? This will be the resulting context. Coming to the related pattern, this will have the list of all the process pattern which is directly related to what pattern you are making. For example, let us talk about the stage pattern communication. This will have certain task pattern like the project team, collaborative, guidelines, scope, isolation, requirement gathering, constraint, description and scenario recreation. Then we have the known users and example. So this is indicating the specific instances in which the pattern will be applicable. For example, communication, when you start this project, it is very, very necessary, mandatory. While you are deploying, it is also mandatory. But in between, the communication might be moderate level. Now we'll talk about the example I took. This is an example process pattern. So here we are talking about a pattern we are going to make where when we are saying we are unsure of specific requirement, we are not getting we are not understanding or the actual requirement. So pattern name will be requirements are unclear. This can be a pattern. Okay, this will be the name of the pattern because we are unclear of the requirement. So the name is very credible. The intent is this pattern is describing how do you approach, for building a model that can be assessed iteratively so that you can solidify the requirement. Then type will be phase pattern. Initial context will be, how do you communicate? What will be the way? How do you identify the stakeholder? So the problem is the requirements are either ambiguous, hazy, or they are not even existing. Solution will be, what are the ways you are going to adopt to get it? That is prototyping process, for example. What is the resulting context? The software prototype that will identify basic requirements, series of increments like this. Related pattern will be the customer communication, iterative design, iterative development, customer assessment, and requirement extraction. These are the related pattern. Okay. See, all these things you don't need to understand. Just have an idea about process pattern. Finally, the known uses and example, prototyping we have chosen. So it is recommended when requirements are uncertain. So the solution is the prototyping. This is the process model you will choose. Process assessment and improvement. So whenever we are talking about a process model or the way we are approaching the software for the solution, someone has to assess, someone has to improve also. Because if you don't give examination, you will not get the marks. If you don't get the marks, you will not know how much you have learned. So there are different approaches for this software process assessment and improvement. For example, we have SCAMPI, Standard CMMI Assessment Method for Process Improvement. These two first I am telling you, which are based on CMMI. That is Capability Maturity Model. So this first one, I'll just show you the picture also. So this is a 5-step process assessment model, and this will have 5 phases: initiating, diagnosing, establishing, acting, and learning. So this SCAMPI, it uses the SEI, Software Engineering Institute Capability Maturity Model, as the basis of the assessment. So see here, this is what we are talking about. These are the different 5 phases. So this is a assessment model, means you will assess whether the thing which you are, or the model you have chosen, the way you are working is proper or not, whether it is initiating, diagnosing, establishing, acting, or learning. Then we have the CBA IPI, CMM based appraisal for internal process improvement. So you are following certain process, now we want it to improve. This is also capability maturity model based, right? So we'll be discussing this in a greater detail. So this is providing a diagnostic technique for assessing the maturity of a software organization. This again uses SEI CMM. We will be talking about CMM this in a great detail. All the phases we are going to discuss. Right now just know about these words, because in the later discussion we'll be defining it. SPICE ISO IEC 15504. So ISO is International Organization for Standardization. IEC is for International Electrotechnical Commission. Okay, 15504, 15,504. So this is a standard which will define a set of requirements for the software process assessment. So this is an assessment technique. It will help the organization in developing an objective evaluation of the efficacy of any defined software process. So you want to evaluate whether your software process is correct or not, what is the level. For that you can use, or you will be using the SPICE. So these are the different levels, and as I said, we will be talking about great detail of this ISO IEC 15504. Then we have the ISO 9001 and 2000 for software. So this is a generic, very general standard. And this is applying to various organizations. Whosoever wants to improve the quality, overall quality. It can be, organizations producing some product or a system or a services. So this is all about improving the overall quality. ISO 9001, 2000. So this is also changing. The number may be different, 9001 and 2020 like this. Okay, this is all about this discussion. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.